And then they freed him, got him out of there, and whatchamacallit, blew up, killed Jabba and blew up the ship and everything and got the heck out of there. Luke goes back to Yoda. You have all that kind of tying in the loose ends. Like I said, he talks to Obi-Wan, and he understands that Leia's his sister, and Darth Vader is confirmed to be his father, and all that stuff. But one of the coolest things, and I take note of it, is that Yoda says, "Do not underestimate the Emperor," and you kind of reflect back on Revenge of the Sith when Yoda fought, Sidious. So that's pretty freaking intense when you go back to the prequels and think about it. So anyway, then you get to the other half of the movie, and you have the fleet. You have all the major characters like Mon Mothma. You have Admiral Akbar, who's one of my favorites, and so you got the whole crew. Like this is going to be the big Kahuna when it comes to space battles. So now you can call me cheesy or childish, but maybe it's the child in me, but me as a kid, I love the space battles, and to me the Return of the Jedi was the ultimate one because it had everything. Everything was involved. You had the fighters, you had the cruisers, you had the big Star Destroyers, TIE fighters. Everything was a part of it. So that's why, in my humble opinion, it had the greatest spaceship battle in all of the Star Wars series. I wish it was longer. I wish there was more. But you had the Super Star Destroyer, you had everything else, the medical frigate, all the different types of ships that I loved and what made me love Star Wars a lot, they were all there. So Wedge is there, you have Admiral Akbar, of course, Lando leading it, and I thought that was a great way to have him, because he was a great pilot like Han, and so while Han was down on Endor, you had him that was his story with that. So I thought it was really awesome there. Tactics-wise, it's pretty on point. They assume they're going to create a perimeter by an unguarded Death Star with the shield down. Unfortunately, it's not. So that's why, it's a trap. Sure, you can complain that once again it's fighters going into the core of a big ship. Okay, they did that, but at least it was cool going into the Death Star. That was pretty freaking awesome. Okay, I don't care what you say. Like, that was cool. You had all the ships, the B-Wings, A-Wings, Y-Wings, like everything. So I thought it was dope. Anyway, besides that, you had Endor. Now, I like Endor, how they used Redwoods National Park. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was cool that they did that. Now, going into the Ewoks, one of the biggest criticisms of The Return of the Jedi was Lucas was specifically catering towards children, and created the Ewoks and stuff for the kids. Understandable complaint, but what people don't think about is that all the guys got killed. Oops. Anyway, what people don't think about is this. Besides the younglings getting killed in Revenge of the Sith and Order 66, I forgot to mention that, but Order 66 was pretty ridiculous in Revenge of the Sith. When I first saw it, I just kind of was like, there they go, they all got killed. But when you watch the Clone Wars series, it gives it more depth because you get to know all the Jedi that are there, Plo Koon and all the others and stuff. So it makes it a lot more poignant after watching the Clone Wars series. But anyway, not going to get distracted. Going back, besides the younglings getting killed in Revenge of the Sith, and you could say Order 66, Endor and the Ewoks, that's actually one of the most savage things in the Star Wars films. They used, Han Solo and the Rebels, they used 3PO, who this primitive tribe saw as a deity, to their advantage to put them in harm's way. They basically suckered this primitive tribe into attacking, the Imperials, Now, I understand they didn't ask the Ewoks to fight, okay, because they just asked them to scout it out, and then they were going to take care of business. So I understand they didn't put them in harm's way, but they still manipulated this primitive tribe. There's the scene where Han Solo goes to 3PO, he's like, yo, see if we can get our weapons back. And then, find out if they know where to get to here, and, hurry up, will you? Okay, there's that scene. All right, yo, they freaking deceived, you know what I mean? They used that, all right, to manipulate that tribe. That's pretty ridiculous, all right? That's pretty ridiculous. And so the tribe, because they want to, serve their deity, they end up, getting blown up. I mean, yeah, sure, there's some childish scenes where, beating the stormtroopers. They're supposed to be these elite troopers, and they're getting hit with freaking clubs and stuff. All right, I understand that. But if they would have made it a little bit, more savage, it's pretty ridiculous. All right, those Ewoks are gonna get the crap blown out of them. All right. So anyway, think about that. All right, it's pretty savage. But to tie everything together, my favorite lightsaber duel in the entire Star Wars films, and I think in my eyes the most powerful thing in all the Star Wars films, is Luke is willing to sacrifice himself, all right, and go to the Emperor to redeem and save his father. All right, you can bring up all kinds of biblical analogies with the sacrifice of Christ and all that stuff. That's me. Maybe it's me as a Christian. That's why I love Return of the Jedi. All right, the sequence when he goes there and the Emperor's tempting him and everything, and then he ends up fighting his dad, and he's thinking about killing him because he brought up, and that's the thing. Vader brought up the dirt. If you ain't gonna turn to me, I'm gonna go after your sister. So it's oh, this is pretty savage. So he goes at him. All right. Then you have the Emperor all right, kill him, man. Come, you'll be my new apprentice. And you see that. You saw it with Dooku. You saw that, before. All right. Then you realize with Luke, he's oh, I'm not gonna kill him. All right, I'm a Jedi. You see the Emperor you know what's going to happen because you saw the prequels. He's going to electrocute the piss out of him, and he does it. Tortures the piss out of him, talks trash, and then Vader has that scene. He's what am I going to do? Am I going to, this dude that I've been following for, 20 plus years, this dude who was at the drop of the hat would have had me killed just like I killed Dooku? Nah. And so he put his foot down and realized. He looked at it. He saw his son who was willing to die for him and this Emperor that was going to easily kill him. And he chose. And then threw him over, got electrocuted, and, that was that. And then you have, in the original, you have the Ewok song that makes it pretty awesome at the end. So, in a nutshell, that's why I put Return of the Jedi as my favorite film. As a kid, I loved it, and to this day, I still love it, despite its flaws. But overall, I highly enjoy Star Wars. I love the saga. Maybe not the newer films, but yeah, whatever. I love Star Wars, and hopefully there's going to be a lot of cool stuff in the future with Knights of the Old Republic. Maybe they'll do something with that. Maybe a Vader movie. There's a lot to work with. Who knows? Maybe they'll touch more on the expanded universe. Maybe we'll see some Thrawn stuff. That'd be pretty awesome. So, anyway, may the Force be with all of y'all, and have a good one. Whoop, my water.